Agree. User experience is absolutely at the heart of the success of CRM, CLM, gamification, and the like. And really, what kind of echoes this is if you look at some of the most successful companies in the world, Apple, Google, Facebook, they're successful because of their absolute appetite and commitment to user experience. So when I'm talking about good experience and I'm talking about pharma, I'm not necessarily talking about a patient website. I'm talking about a patient treatment journey. When I'm talking about healthcare professionals, I'm not about a product website. I'm about how they access information, how they can reach a conclusion, and how they can make a decision. So that's what we're talking about good experiences. It's very much about a journey rather than an isolated interaction. It can be very confusing, and perhaps there's not always that vision. So when we're thinking about experiences, let's think about the whole journey. Let's think about it from a holistic point of view. So I've flown Ryanair. I'm sure loads of people have flown Ryanair. Certainly the people who work for Avast Links have flown Ryanair. And ultimately, it's a pretty horrific process. But it's not just a horrific process when you board the plane. It starts pretty bad when you start to book the actual tickets. So if we take, for a second, a look at this website. I've arrived here, I want to book a ticket. There's no other reason that I'd be at the Ryanair website. Yet the piece of information that allows me to book a ticket is really quite small. And actually, it's competing with a website where there's no hierarchy, there's no structure, and it's all about shouting. Do we think people don't use our websites, our pharma websites, because they don't believe what's been said? Or do they not use them because of the quality of the product? And when you're thinking about that, just consider the fact that they still do see representatives, they listen to what they have to say. So I would challenge everyone in this room to really try and drive and deliver better products with better experiences for healthcare professionals. In terms of the kind of insights that I would talk about from a UX point of view, 12 months ago we did a pitch, which was unfortunately unsuccessful, for Novartis in ophthalmology, pretty much the only one. And one of the things that they briefed us on is he said, we want to do this multi-channel campaign, and they were very much focused on the desktop component. They pretty much discounted mobile. And the reason they discounted mobile is because they gave us this stat. 80% of severely visually impaired people struggle to read a standard-sized text on a mobile device. So, of course, we need to focus on laptops, desktops, all that kind of thing. We had a couple of conversations with some patients, and they said, my iPhone's an absolute godsend. It totally changed my life. Because they're used to using Siri, voice-recognized search, and it completely transformed what they're doing. I guess the moral of the story is that sometimes it can be these little details that completely transform your campaign and ultimately the experience of the user. So, I said before, pharma is never going to be categorized as being in a revolution, but we can be really, really good at evolution. So I'll give you a couple of quick examples. Facebook wasn't the first social platform. It's totally number one. Google, not the first search engine, definitely number one. Apple didn't beat BlackBerry to the market, but they're absolutely number one. The thing that all of these three absolutely nailed is the user experience. If we take Facebook and MySpace as an example, MySpace is currently valued at about $30 million. Facebook is valued at, I think, $70 billion. Why is Facebook so successful when MySpace wasn't? MySpace was awkward to use, it was pretty ugly, and ultimately it stagnated. Facebook, innovate, intuitive, and visually engaging. One of the frustrating debates I have with some of our clients is we'll go in there and go, we've got a great idea, we want to do this platform. And they'll turn around and go, but someone else has already done it, so therefore we shouldn't do it. I'd completely and utter argue with that. We can do it, and we can do it better. It's called technology push. It takes place in every single walk of life, and it absolutely should take place in pharma as well. The fact that we care about the details, we care about the 1%, because the 1% count when we're talking about huge investment. This makes a real difference. However, as important as those 1% are, we also have to have a very clear vision. We've got to be the experts. We've got to know where we're going. For those people that recognize this Simpson episode, I know it's not Martin's car, but when they were developing this, Homer's idea was he could design his own car. He had every single feature he ever wanted. But what he ended up with was a really bad experience. And what we need to do as experts is listen to the details, consider the details, listen to the users, but have a clear vision and make sure ultimately we deliver a seamless experience. And when your clients say to you, what's AstraZeneca doing? What's GSK doing? That's not our competition. Our competition is emails, Google, BBC, Facebook. They set the benchmark. That's what we're aspiring to. That's who we're competing with. So, once we've engaged with people, the next thing we need to do is inspire action. But really, information alone is not enough. We also need to know what are the underlying emotions that are driving this cycle of decline. What are the triggers that we can use to avoid the patient going away? So it's not just about information, it's about motivation. And a key aspect of motivation is gamification, one of the worst named principles ever that actually has a real impact on everything that we do. Gamification, very quickly, it's meant to be cutting edge. It's something society's done since the year dots. It includes a few basic principles. The first is progression. I wake up in the morning, I write a list, I love ticking them off. I like to feel like I'm making progress. We should be applying exactly the same concepts to our digital platforms in exactly the same way LinkedIn does really successfully. In terms of coffees, I tend to go to Costa Coffee because if I have 5 coffees, I get 1 for free. We love getting rewards. It helps us build loyalty. Again, totally applicable to websites and online campaigns. I love to win. We all love to win. Certainly the guys around here today, I expect, want to try and win. So let's build that into our experiences. And with the emergence of wearable technology, we want to improve. So these are all concepts that help us engage with users and improve the experience and build, ultimately, brand loyalty. There very much, and perhaps there still is, this debate around form versus function. For me, Apple have absolutely shattered that as a concept. The form absolutely supports the function as a key component. And I have a nice little story about what we can take from that. So in 1960, there was the first ever televised US presidential election debate. And in the run-up, Nixon was pretty unwell. Now, when he did the debate, he was quite sweaty, a bit disheveled, and he looked a little bit shifty. Kennedy, on the other hand, always cared about his appearance, was absolutely immaculate. Now, during this debate, anyone who listened to it on radio thought Nixon won. The 70 million people that watched it on TV absolutely believed Kennedy won. And it just shows you the importance of the aesthetic. And really, one of the things I think it does, it has this like halo effect. So if we take your Apple iPhone, now, I've had one for years, and I have it today because I want it. The experience and the way it interacted used to be amazing. Now it updates on a daily basis. But I forgive it because of this halo effect. I forgive it because it's built up an equity with me in the way it looks. And that's why how it looks is really important. A lot of people would say that a positive user experience equals a positive brand experience. I would argue that the reverse is also true. And an amazing brand experience can help us improve that user experience. So this is how most development cycles tend to go. We start at the beginning and we're like really excited with loads of ideas and the energy's great. And then over time, we sort of run out of our ideas and we lose the inspiration, the innovation. But actually the perspiration gets a lot kind of higher. Why does that happen? It happens because we've got the most unbelievably linear process in the world and it's prevalent in our sector. We're now working with clients where actually they're coming at this from a much more agile point of view. It's about prototypes, it's about iterations, and it's much more exciting. There's nothing stopping us at this stage having a prototype that medics, legal can play with. We don't always have to be like this linear and this fashion. And ultimately, I believe it can kind of save money. The more that we invest and the more that our clients invest in the overall experience, the less our customers need to invest, the quicker and more rewarded they can be with their experience,